In the beginning, there was nothing. No time, no space, no light, no darkness. All that existed was Shunya, a vast, endless void. But within that void, a shift began. Out of the stillness emerged ego, awareness of the self. From this awakening, the Parabrahma, the universe itself, became aware. It longed to understand its own nature, to witness itself, and just like a single cell dividing, the Parabrahma split into two primal forces, pure consciousness and boundless energy, the masculine and the feminine, Shiva and Shakti. This is their epic love story. The story begins when Lord Brahma, the god of creation, sought Shakti's help to shape the material universe. Shiva, understanding the greater good, agreed to a brief separation and gave Shakti away to fulfill this cosmic purpose. Alas, but once creation was complete, Shakti could not return to her divine state. She had to first take human form and then attain divinity through her karma. Thus, Shakti was born as Sati, the beloved daughter of King Daksha and Queen Prasuti. She was the apple of her father's eye, his favorite among all his daughters. From a young age, Sati was haunted by dreams of a mysterious ascetic. He lived in the mountains, draped in a deer skin, his body smeared with ash, and always deep in meditation. An unshakable desire grew within her to meet this strange figure. And as the years passed, that desire blossomed into devotion. She didn't know who he was or why she was so drawn to him. One day, while exploring the Himalayas with her companions, Sati found herself face to face with a massive enraged bull. It charged at her with terrifying speed, its fury unrelenting. Sati was terrified, and so were her companions. The royal guards attempted to stop the charging bull, but they were tossed aside like mere toys. The bull was closing in fast. Sati shut her eyes, bracing for the inevitable. But then, something remarkable happened. A flicker of recognition appeared in the bull's eyes, and it froze in its tracks, as if suddenly changed. Before her bewildered gaze, the bull transformed, turning into a half-man, half-bull hybrid. It knelt before her, folding its hands in reverence, and spoke, "Forgive me, Supreme Mother, for I failed to recognize you and mistook you for an intruder. I am Nandi, a devotee of Lord Shiva." Sati was utterly perplexed, speechless. She finally asked, "O mighty Nandi, I am Sati, daughter of King Daksha. Why do you call me Supreme Mother? And who is this Shiva to whom you are so devoted?" Unable to explain in words, Nandi led her to Mount Kailash. There, Sati saw something that shook her to her core. The mountain was teeming with grotesque creatures. Rakshasas, Pishachas, Pretas, and serpents slithered everywhere. The sight was horrifying. Sati cried out, "Nandi, why have you brought me to this terrifying place? Take me away at once." Nandi, sensing her fear, gently reassured her. He pointed toward the most pious of sages, who sat meditating peacefully amidst the chaos. They too reside here, Nandi explained. My Lord, Shiva, is all-loving and all-accepting. No matter where one comes from, if their heart is pure and their devotion sincere, they are welcome here. Sati was intrigued. Who is this great being, she wondered. Without further delay, Nandi brought her to the entrance of a cave. With hesitant steps, Sati approached the cave. Her eyes widened in disbelief. He is the one from my dreams. Sight of Lord Shiva transported Sati to a distant memory, and in that moment, she knew who she truly was. She now understood why she had dreamt of this enigmatic ascetic. A wave of emotions surged through her. Joy at reuniting with her soulmate. Sorrow for the ages they had spent apart. Anger for forgetting him in her human form. Overcome by emotion, Sati gently gathered a handful of ashes that had fallen from his body onto the floor and smeared the ash across her forehead, a silent expression of her love and devotion. She returned home overflowing with joy, eager to share her discovery with her father, King Daksha. It seemed as though the entire city was celebrating, as if they had sensed her secret joy. Even the palace sparkled with grandeur, prepared for the upcoming Swayamvar, a ceremony where Sati was to choose her husband. She embraced her father and told him she had found her soulmate. There was no need for the Swayamvar. At Daksha's insistence, Sati began to paint a portrait of Lord Shiva, hoping to show her father the face of the one she had chosen. But as the painting neared completion, Daksha's smile faded. It was replaced by pure, unrestrained fury. Daksha was no ordinary king. As the mind-born son of Lord Brahma, he had been created to uphold cosmic order. His role was to enforce the code of conduct for all of humanity, and thus he earned the title of Prajapati, the Lord of the people. Shiva, on the other hand, was a rebel, a nonconformist who cared little for the rules Daksha had set. Shiva was the ultimate free spirit, renouncing worldly pleasures, frequenting cremation grounds, keeping company with the most grotesque of beings, and dancing to the rhythm of his own drum. While Daksha thrived on order and discipline, Shiva embodied chaos and freedom. This stark contrast fueled Daksha's disdain for the great lord, but his hatred deepened further during a grand yajna where both Daksha and Shiva were invited. While all the devas and sages bowed respectfully to Daksha, Shiva remained seated. Daksha took this as a grave insult, vowing to teach Shiva a lesson. Now, as Daksha gazed upon the portrait of Shiva that his daughter had so lovingly painted, his rage erupted once again. That is your soulmate, he roared. An outcast who lives on the fringes of society. You choose him as your life partner. Impossible. I will never allow this marriage. Sati stood in stunned silence, unable to comprehend the fury she had unleashed. She tried to reason with her father, to explain the true nature of Lord Shiva. But Daksha's mind was made up, and he refused to listen any further. Unable to bear the insults hurled at her lord, Sati renounced the palace and the kingdom. Sieged by grief, Sati made her way to Mount Kailash, where she found her lord still in deep meditation. How she longed to wake him, to fall into his arms and forget the world. How much she wanted to tell him that she had upheld his honor, but doubt crept into her heart. What if he wakes and doesn't recognize me? I have lost my divinity in this mortal form, she resolved. No, I must become worthy of his attention. When he opens his eyes, he must see me as my true self. With this singular purpose, Sati committed herself to severe austerities and penances. So rigorous were her efforts that she gradually gave up food, at one point subsisting on nothing but a single bilwa leaf each day. Then one day, after emerging from deep meditation, Sati opened her eyes to find Lord Shiva sitting before her, gazing at her with boundless adoration. At first, she thought it was another vivid dream. But no, it was really him, in flesh and blood. Her Lord had finally awakened. The moment was beyond words. It was surreal, magical. Thousands of years of longing and separation had led to this singular, perfect reunion. No words were spoken, for words could not capture what they felt for each other. With burning passion, Sati embraced him, her heart whole once more. In that moment, she had everything. But deep inside, a flicker of hope remained. She wished for just one more thing, that her beloved father would accept their union. Daksh remained furious with his daughter, angry that she had chosen a filthy ascetic over him. But his anger towards Shiva burned even hotter for the sway this yogi held over his naive daughter. His pride had been bruised beyond repair. He stood at the edge, consumed with thoughts of revenge. Right then the sky turned white with a majestic light, and before him appeared his progenitor, Lord Brahma, the creator himself. Brahma spoke sternly to his wayward son, warning him not to drive a wedge between the divine couple. For Shiva and Shakti were two parts of the same whole, the very essence of creation itself. Their union would benefit all life. But if torn apart, chaos would reign. Daksh was powerless before his mighty father's will, and with humility he conceded and agreed. A message was sent to Sati that love had triumphed over anger, and her father had agreed to her marriage with Shiva. An opulent celebration was organized for her wedding. And oh my, was it a sight to behold! All the Devis and Devtas, Apsaras and Gandharvas were invited. Sadhus and Rishis gathered in reverence, while Lord Brahma himself presided over the wedding rituals. With 7 parikramas and 7 vows around the sacred fire, the divine marriage was sanctified. To this day, that blessed new moon night in February is celebrated as Mahashivratri, the great wedding night of Shiva and Shakti. After the wedding, Shiva gathered his beautiful bride in his arms and took her to his Himalayan abode. As Lord Brahma watched them depart, a deep sense of satisfaction filled him. His plan had worked. He had brought goddess Shakti to earth, awakened Shiva from his endless meditation, and through their union ensured the sustenance of creation. But did he know that destiny had something else in store? Alas, was he aware of the dark clouds looming ahead? For in the distance, Daksha stood, his fists clenched, watching as the ascetic he despised so much carried away his daughter. It was unclear if it was the shadow that darkened his face or it was the color of his hatred. Shiva embraced married life as naturally as a penguin takes to water. From a rebellious yogi, he transformed into a devoted householder. He may have been the lord of the universe, but his true universe now lay within the warmth of Sati's embrace. As for Sati, she had finally attained all she had ever longed for. The river had at last found its way to the ocean. Together, they basked in pure marital bliss, and from their perfect harmony, the world flourished. In the serene shade of the mystical mountains, Shiva shared with her the secrets of the inner world, and together they explored the boundless universe within them as one body, one soul. One day, Sati noticed a group of sages heading somewhere in high spirits. Curious, she inquired and discovered they were attending the grandest yajna the universe had ever seen. To her surprise, the yajna was being organized by none other than her father, King Daksha. Yet, everyone had been invited except Shiva and herself. Sati insisted on attending the yajna. After all, family didn't need formal invitations, and it had been far too long since she had seen her loved ones. Shiva, aware of the cunning nature of Prajapati Daksh, urged Sati not to go uninvited. But Sati's mind was made up. So, Shiva sent his Shivganas to accompany her and gently requested that she maintain her composure in the face of any insults Daksha might hurl at him. When Sati arrived at the royal palace, she saw that the entire cosmos had been invited. Devas, Asuras, Apsaras, Gandharvas, Yakshas, sages, kings and subjects, everyone was present except her beloved Shiva. Trying to brush aside her discomfort, Sati made her way to the ceremonial ground. But at the entrance, her eyes fell upon something that turned her calm expression into one of wild rage. These eyes fell upon the most appalling sight. A grotesque caricature of Lord Shiva, mockingly placed as a gatekeeper. Every guest who passed by couldn't contain their laughter. Furious, Sati stormed into the chamber and demanded her father remove that offensive statue at once. But Daksh merely sneered. "That is the true nature of Shiva," he said. "He may fool the world into thinking he is an exalted yogi, but this is what he really is." Daksh continued, mocking further, saying that he could not sully such a pious ceremony by inviting a disheveled demigod like Shiva, a deity who roamed graveyards in the company of thieves and criminals. Sati's heart shattered. The cruelty of her own father, the insults hurled at her beloved Shiva, it was unbearable. Trembling with rage and sorrow, Sati gathered her strength and solemnly declared, "Since you gave me this body, I no longer wish to be associated with it." With those words, she sat on the ground and entered a deep meditative trance. Delving deep within herself, she summoned her inner fire, channeling her energy through yogic power. Her body erupted into flames, and the supreme goddess Shakti left her mortal body. The entire chamber fell into stunned silence, realizing the grave sin that had just been committed. A sin so unforgivable that it could not be atoned for, even in 1,000,000 lifetimes. As realization dawned upon Daksh, with a trembling voice he managed to utter, "What have I done? What have I done?" One truth became clear to everyone in the ceremonial ground. No one could save them now from the wrath of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was with Nandi, admiring a beautiful hammock he had lovingly crafted for his beloved wife. Fashioned from the most fragrant sandalwood, adorned with the rarest flowers, seashells, and jewels. "Nandi, what do you think? Will she like it?" he asked. "She will love it, my lord," Nandi replied. Just then, the Shivganas arrived, their faces grave, their steps slow and uncertain, their eyes lowered. Shiva looked at them quizzically and asked, "Why are you back so soon? Were you not allowed to participate in the yagya?" There was pin-drop silence. None dared to speak a word. Shiva asked again, his tone most urgent, "Why are you not answering? Why this silence?" His eyes searched for his wife. And where is Sati? Did she stay back at her father's palace?" Still there was no response. The Shivganas trembled, fear evident in their eyes. By now, the winds had swelled and a mighty storm was brewing. Shiva sensed something was terribly wrong. He turned to one of his Shivganas and bellowed, "Ajantrik, answer me! Where is Sati?" Tears welled up in Ajantrik's eyes, but he could not bring himself to speak. His lips quivered and his head hung low, unable to meet his lord's gaze. Incensed, Shiva placed his hand on Ajantrik's head and fell into a hypnotic trance. His eyes turned white like milk as he saw everything. He witnessed the events of the yagya unfold. The grotesque statue at the entrance, Sati's anger, Daksha's cruel insults, and finally, Sati's supreme sacrifice. Shiva's body trembled uncontrollably. His face turned a furious red, and his eyes blazed with hellfire. A horrific cry escaped his lips, a sound so terrifying it shook the earth and the heavens alike. The cry reverberated across the cosmos, jolting even Lord Vishnu in Vaikunth and Lord Brahma in Brahmalok. They looked on in horror, watching the heartbreaking scene unfold. Shiva tore at his hair in agonizing grief, his wails darker than the deepest night. As each lock of hair hit the ground, two of his most fearsome warriors emerged, Veerbhadra and Bhadrakali. Shiva commanded them to go to the yagya and teach Daksha and other guests a lesson that the universe would remember for eternity. Dread hung heavy in the air at the yagna. The guests trembled in fear, knowing that Shiva's wrath was about to be unleashed upon them at any moment. Some fled the ceremonial grounds, desperate to escape, while others stood firm, ready to face death with honor alongside Daksha. The royal army, armed with powerful weapons, surrounded the grounds, hoping to defend against the inevitable. Suddenly, a deep, menacing clarion call echoed through the air, sending shivers down the spines of everyone present. The moment had arrived. The Devas drew their divine weapons, forming battle-ready lines. As the clarion call reached its deafening crescendo, Veerbhadra emerged on the horizon, leading a nightmarish army of grotesque creatures, Rakshasas, Vetalas, Pishachas, and Nagas, the most terrifying beings from the darkest depths of Patal, walked alongside Veerbhadra and Bhadrakali. With one swift motion of his hand, Veerbhadra unleashed his macabre army upon the guests. The creatures tore through the royal forces like mere toys. The Devas, wielding their energy weapons, attempted to put up a fierce resistance, but they were no match for the sheer brute force of Shiva's army. Daksha saw his opportunity and tried to flee the battlefield, but he could not escape the vice-like grip of Veerbhadra. With a single swing of his trident, Veerbhadra severed Daksha's head from his body, bringing the king's life to a swift and brutal end. As the apocalyptic battle raged on, Shiva walked through a sea of lifeless bodies, searching for his Sati. His search ended near the fire altar, where Sati's charred body lay in divine serenity. With heartbreaking tenderness, he gathered her lifeless form, holding her tightly against his wailing heart. His tears had long run dry. His face was stoic, yet the rage burning inside him roared louder than crashing waves. The Shivganas stood at a distance, mourning this irreparable loss. Finally, Shiva rose to his feet and began to walk. He wandered through cities, deserts, forests, and plains. He walked over lofty mountains and into the deepest valleys, clutching Sati's body close to his heart. The Shivganas followed him like shadows, helpless in their attempts to console him. They tried words, they tried mantras. Nothing could reach him. Unable to bear this heartbreaking sight any longer, Lord Brahma urged Lord Vishnu to intervene. Vishnu, with his Sudarshan Chakra, cut Sati's lifeless body into 51 pieces which fell to the earth, creating 51 sacred energy points, the Shakti Pithas. When the last piece fell away, Shiva finally emerged from his delirium. He sat down by the serene banks of the river Ganga, contemplating in the calming embrace of the sacred waters. There, in that moment of clarity, he realized the devastation his wrath had caused at the yajna. He saw how both he and Sati had failed to fulfill the tasks for which they had taken human form, succumbing instead to pride and rage. Shiva longed to return to his spiritual form and reunite with Shakti. And so, on Mount Kailash, he entered deep meditation once again, until his soul once again merged with Shakti. 3 Manvantars had passed since Sati's departure. In human time, 306 million years. Without the union of Shiva and Shakti, chaos began to seep into the fabric of existence. The forces of darkness grew stronger, tipping the scales away from harmony. In this imbalance, a formidable demon named Tarkasur rose to power. He was gifted with a boon that only the son of Shiva could defeat him. But Lord Shiva was in deep meditation, and Goddess Shakti was in her cosmic form. Tarkasur wreaked havoc across the three worlds. Neither Devas nor other Asuras could withstand his might, and despair settled in the three worlds. Desperate to restore balance, the Devas approached Lord Brahma and prayed for the reincarnation of the Divine Mother once again in human form. During the collective prayers of the Devas, Shakti was reborn as Parvati, the daughter of King Himavat and Queen Minavati. From the moment of her birth, Parvati radiated a divine aura, her presence as serene as the Himalayas themselves. Like Sati before her, Parvati was haunted by dreams of a mysterious ascetic. In her visions, he appeared draped in deerskin, his skin smeared with ash, meditating amidst the snow-capped peaks. An inexplicable longing filled her heart, drawing her toward this enigmatic figure. Seeking to understand the meaning behind these recurring dreams, Parvati journeyed to the ashram of Rishi Dadhiji. There, she encountered the celestial sage Narad, who had been secretly sent by the Devas to help Parvati uncover her true identity and her destined purpose. Under Narad's guidance, Parvati succeeded in piercing the veil of Maya, the illusory force that binds living beings to their current lives and desires. It was revealed to her that the ascetic from her dreams was none other than Lord Shiva. Her destiny was intertwined with his, for she was Shakti reborn, and only through their reunion could balance be restored. Determined to fulfill her destiny, Parvati embarked on a treacherous journey, navigating through rugged paths until she reached Mount Kailash. At the entrance of Shiva's cave, she was met by his loyal companion Nandi. This time, Nandi recognized her instantly, greeting her with reverence as the embodiment of Shakti. Inside the cave, Shiva was deep in meditation, completely detached from the material world. Yet, Parvati did not waver. With pure devotion, she dedicated herself to Shiva's service. Patiently, she waited for her Lord to awaken, her heart filled with love and faith, knowing that their reunion was written in the stars. Tarkasur's tyranny grew unchecked. Indra, the king of Devas, became anxious. Desperate for a solution, he approached Kamdev, the god of love. "We need Shiva to awaken and accept Parvati," Indra implored. "Only their union can bring forth the warrior destined to defeat Tarkasur." Kamdev trembled at the thought of facing Shiva's wrath. But for the sake of humanity, he agreed to make the ultimate sacrifice. With great courage, Kamdev sneaked past Nandi and released a flower-tipped arrow of desire toward the meditating Lord. The arrow found its mark, stirring emotions within Shiva. However, sensing Kamdev's presence, Shiva's third eye blazed open in fury. In an instant, the god of love was reduced to ashes. Yet, Kamdev's sacrifice was not in vain. Shiva, after millions of years in meditation, was finally awake. As his eyes opened, they fell upon Parvati. Shiva instantly recognized Parvati. Memories of his past came flooding back, and for a brief moment, something stirred in his heart. Kamdev's arrow had indeed worked its magic. But Shiva, having attained mastery over his mind and emotions, quickly quelled the rising feelings within him. The idea of attachment only reminded him of the sorrow and chaos that had followed Sati's loss. Without betraying a single emotion, Shiva turned to Parvati and said, O Devi, I honor your devotion, but I am a renunciate. I have no place for worldly attachments. His words were final, cold, yet resolute. Without another glance, Shiva retreated into his solitude, leaving Parvati standing amidst the ruins of her shattered hopes. Parvati was devastated. The very purpose of her existence seemed to slip away. But she was determined not to give up. Seeking guidance once more, she turned to sage Narad. Do not despair, Parvati, he counseled. If not through love, you can surely win him through bhakti, devotion. Dedicate yourself to penance and meditate on him. Let your sincerity reach his heart. Heeding Narad's advice, Parvati retreated deep into the forests, committing herself to severe austerities. She meditated amidst the harshest conditions, renouncing food and comfort. Her mind and heart focused solely on Shiva. Shiva was surprised when Parvati undertook the most rigorous penance, not as a lover or a wife, but as a devoted seeker. Moved by her devotion, yet wary of attachment, Shiva decided to test her resolve. He placed obstacles before her at every step, ensuring that her path to him was fraught with challenges. Shiva sought to see if Parvati carried the same ego that had once clouded Sati's judgment. One day, as the final test, Shiva disguised himself as an Aghori, a wandering ascetic, and approached Parvati. He criticized Shiva harshly, hoping to see if her faith would falter. But Parvati remained steadfast, with a heart full of love and conviction. Her unwavering devotion and passionate defense moved Shiva deeply. His disguise faded away, revealing his true form. Parvati, your love has proven stronger than the bonds of illusion and doubt, he acknowledged. With admiration and love, Shiva accepted Parvati as his eternal consort. You are indeed my Shakti, returned to me, he said. Their souls resonated in perfect harmony. Shiva arrived at King Himavat's palace, accompanied by his Shivganas. At the sight of these fearsome beings, Queen Menavati fainted in shock. Gently, Parvati approached Shiva and requested, would you present yourself in a form that my parents and the people can accept and celebrate? Understanding her request, Shiva transformed. His dreadlocks became soft, silky tresses. His ash-covered skin took on a radiant golden hue, and his attire changed to regal garments adorned with jewels. And the assembly gasped in awe at the breathtaking transformation. Amidst celebrations that spanned the heavens and earth, Shiva and Parvati were married. The sacred fires bore witness to their vows, and the cosmos rejoiced. Their union was more than the coming together of two souls. It was the merging of consciousness and energy, restoring harmony to the universe.